Hey friends and foes, welcome to Brushwork Podcast. My name is Stephanie Scott, and today we're talking about why you're not too old to be an artist. There are many little moments in your life in which the call happens. They're little nudges. It's the dim of a glow of a museum, the hushed tones of visitors, and a painting that seems to breathe life. Every brushstroke telling a tale that resonates deep within your soul. It's watching a friend, their fingers smeared with paint or their hands molding clay, beginning their own voyage into the world of creation. It's seeing a set of crayons at the grocery store that you look at every time you shop, but you never purchase. Such moments are transformative, where art in its many forms touches our lives. It's as if time stills, and in that suspended moment, a spark is ignited. A whisper says, "You too can create. You too can breathe life into a canvas, mold stories from clay, and stitch dreams into fabric." Sometimes it's not as magical and mystical as all that, but it happens consistently, especially for those who are creative, especially for those who have been suppressing their creativity. For many, this is a pivotal instant, the turning of a new page, where desire to create isn't just an idle thought, but a fervent need. The realization that art isn't just something to be admired from afar, but a journey to be embraced. If you felt the call, this magnetic allure towards creation, but have hesitated to receive its instruction because you've thought, "I'm too old to start something new," this post is for you. And if you've ever gazed at a blank canvas with yearning, but have stopped due to the nagging voice in your head, this episode, it's for you. And if you've ever bought art supplies and ended up leaving them in the closet for a decade or more and thought, "Well, I've never started then, why would I start now?" Or, "I don't want to waste the paint," this is for you, okay? So you're listening, please. Thank you. Age is just a chapter in our life story, but creativity, that's the very essence of our narrative. I want to dig into why it's never too late to start making art, especially if you are beyond your 20s and sparkling. When you think about creativity, I want you to think of evergreen. Creativity does not have an expiration date. It is quite the opposite. So let's dismantle this myth. Your brain is really cool. Throughout our lives, our brains remain adaptable and malleable. This characteristic, which is called neuroplasticity, ensures that we can form new neural connections and pathways at every age. That aha moment when inspiration strikes, that doesn't have an age limit and can be developed at any time. In fact, your ability to use that connection will only get stronger the more you say yes to creativity. As we age, our reservoirs of experiences, memories, and learned wisdoms, they only grow. Your age gives you a deeper understanding of emotions simply by being a human on this planet. And now, because you've aged, you have a unique well of emotional themes that can be used to make art. This repository becomes a fertile ground for artistic expression. The stories you can tell now are richer, more nuanced, and layered than they might have been a decade ago or for someone who is much younger. Your heightened emotional intelligence can and will translate into the art that you make, and it's going to resonate deeply with your future audiences. The best time to make art is right now. So say this with me. I want to be an artist. Did that feel weird? You know that moment when you are handed a piece of paper and a pencil and are given the opportunity to draw, but you quickly blurt out, "Oh, no, I can't even draw a stick figure." That feeling when you walk past a pottery painting shop and see a group of girls chatting away, making cups and bowls, and that feeling that says, "I want to do that," but you keep walking by because you've got errands to run. Or that feeling when you're on a walk with someone and you see a fence that's been decorated with papier-mâché flowers and you think, "That is so cute." But your walking buddy says, out loud, "That's so tacky." And then you just agree to agree. These are the creativity killers. These denials, excuses, and shutdowns are opportunities for you to overcome. The death of creativity comes when you continue to say no to the possibility of your ideas. Instead of saying, "I can't even draw a stick figure," what would you do? Instead of walking past the pottery shop for that afternoon of errands, which, let's be real, always turns into years of errands, what could you do instead? Instead of letting your walking friend's comment slide, how else could you react? I want you to ruminate on those ideas because I'm going to tell you my answers at the end of this episode. Every artist, whether novice or seasoned, faces the challenges of doubt. Sometimes it's our own inner voice, but often skepticism emanates from other people. I find that people often criticize my work when the truth is they also want to be creative. Here's some ways where you can fortify your spirit and beliefs amongst the doubters that you are indeed a creative person and an artist. First, you're going to affirm your worth. Reminding yourself regularly of your journey and your intention is really important. An affirmation such as, "My creativity is encouraged," can act out as an anchor when faced with skepticism. I actually have another episode all about artist affirmations that you can listen to after this. Find your artistic tribe. Surrounding yourself with creative people is vital for continuing to be creative yourself. Whether you're going through a local art class, an online forum, a social media group dedicated to budding artists, surrounding yourself with unique and understanding people is crucial to keeping your engagement in your creativity. I created an art book club just to have a regular group of artists in my life. Do things like that, and you are bound to become more creative. Seek inspiration in other people who might be quote-unquote late bloomers. When you face doubt, look to those who have started their artistic pursuits way later in life. One artist that I like is Grandma Moses. She started well into her 70s and created so much great art that they put her on a stamp. There's a picture of it on the blog post here. Artists like Grandma Moses not only began her journey later, but achieved remarkable acclaim. Her story is a testament to the fact that it's never too late to start. Look for artists who have started later. Maybe they're musicians, maybe they're writers, maybe they're painters like you and I. Having those inspirational stories to keep you grounded, it's going to take you a lot further than you just saying to yourself, I guess I'll make art. And when you get to that point when people are externally doubting your ability to create, and after you've just come up with the courage to make your own art, no matter your age, here's some ways where you can engage constructively with people who are doubters. Sometimes people's doubts stem from misunderstanding or misconceptions about art in general. Here is how to handle them. Education. Share stories of others who have begun their artistic journey later in life, like the story of Grandma Moses. By hearing success stories that creativity knows no age, their perspectives might shift. It might not, but it might also. You get inspired to make, and they're going to get inspired to get off your back. Stop being such Debbie Downers on you making something for yourself for once. You're going to open up a dialogue. Instead of getting defensive, ask them why they feel the way they do. Is it because they also want to make art? Is it because you don't have a history of creating? Is it that they don't like that you're doing something awesome for yourself? Fish it out of them. Make them say why they're being such a sock. Set boundaries. If after you've educated someone and after you've talked to them about why they don't like your work or the fact that you're starting to make work, sometimes a boundary is what it's going to take. If someone is consistently undermining you, it's time. It's time to set boundaries. Politely but firmly let them know that your artistic journey is personal and that while you respect their opinion, you prefer if they kept it to themselves. This will probably upset them, to be honest, but it will also give you space. And space is what you need to create. When people are often critical of my own creations, I take a moment to think about where else they are being critical of me. Because if they don't want me to make something, that's weird. That's interesting. It's different, and where else in my life are they being critical? Making art is not about proving something to others, but expressing and discovering yourself. In order to help you get started, to kickstart your creativity, here are some exercises that I've done in the past that I really like. Number one is a nature walk sketch. Basically, you're going to get a sketchbook and you're going to go on a walk with it. Get yourself some pencils, maybe colored pencils, maybe watercolors, whatever you like. And I want you to immerse yourself in the delights of drawing with a sketchbook while walking. I want you to notice colors, textures, scenes in your head, and try and sketch them out to the best of your abilities. Maybe you see patterns. Maybe you're seeing color motifs. Maybe you're like, that tree is really cool, better go draw it. This practice really enhances your observational skills by quite a bit. Would recommend. It's fun to do with a friend also. Number 2 is mindful coloring. Beyond the confines of child's play, coloring can be a very meditative act. The patterns and color choices can prime your mind for a more complex and artistic project. Get yourself an adult coloring book, pick up a tasty drink, and get coloring. Number 3 is expressive journaling. I love doing this. Journaling is fun, but when I can put things in my journal besides my writing, it's top tier. Use mixed media, use collages or abstract art to capture your emotions and thoughts into your journal. It's a beautiful blend of art therapy and personal diary that's a really big joy to look back on. Number 4 is blind drawing. This isn't about creating a masterpiece, but about letting go of inhibitions and perfectionism. Without sight, you're forced to visualize and engage with the paper in a very new way, very tactile way. Pick yourself a subject and try and draw it 5 minutes with your eyes closed. Number 5 is art from words. I love looking into literature for inspiration. A poetic line or a quote can be a real generator for creative inspiration. Pick a quote you like, write it down very beautifully on a page, and then decorate the rest of the page in relationship to that phrase. Maybe it's doodles, maybe it's colors. It's very fun. And number 6 is go on an artist date. I have a list of 75 artist dates for you from a previous episode recently that are really great to do once a week. I like to pick one thing and do it once a week, and it never disappoints me in boosting my creativity and bringing me a lot of joy. My last point for you today is to let yourself say yes. Say yes to the art things that come up. Say yes to opportunities for creativity. Here are my answers to the earlier questions. Instead of saying, I can't even draw a stick figure, I would take that paper and make a mark. Take the paper and be silly. Take the paper and make a mess. The excuse you make when you say, I can't even draw a stick figure, it's really saying, I'm embarrassed by my ability and I don't want to be made fun of. These might be really true, but by saying the stick figure line, you're giving negativity more power over your creative self, which, gross. We are artists. We must make things. Instead of walking past the pottery shop that afternoon for errands, the years and years of errands, every time I find a place like that calls to my creative self, I'd like to make a note in my calendar for that evening to research it. Or, if you're feeling particularly ambitious, go inside. Sometimes just getting an introduction to whatever shop it is or whatever class, just by being inside of it is enough of a yes pusher to get you to get into the habit of creativity. Just opening the door is a powerful move. And even if you don't end up taking the class or doing the activity, it's going to expand your neural pathway into developing into new ways to say yes to creativity later on. Instead of letting your walking friend's comment slide about how the paper mache flowers on the fence didn't look good, I would shove them into the bush. I'm just kidding. I mean, I would say that I liked it, that I liked the art. Ask them why they don't like it. Like, go through the naysayer list I had above and, ask them why. What is so bad that they didn't like it right off the bat? If they can't even explain why, don't listen to that friend. Did it remind you of something from your childhood? Did it remind you to smile? Did you just like the colors? I want you to go in and say, well, here's the things I like about it to that friend. And maybe you'll change their mind. Maybe you can invite them to make paper mache flowers at your house later that evening. Maybe it's time to play. It's never too late to make art. Now is the best time to embrace your creativity. Your unique experiences, your wisdoms, your perspectives, they make your creations invaluable. Age is a testament to endurance and growth. It's not a barrier. So pick up that brush, pick up your pencil, and let your soul dance onto the canvas of life. That's super cheesy, but I love it. Your artistic journey has just begun. And just by listening to this episode, you are ready to start making. I hope your creative journey takes off from here. And I hope that you found the things in this episode handy. You can find me at stephaniescott.art over on Instagram. Thank you for listening to Brushwork Podcast. I really appreciate you. Leave a review if you feel so inclined, and make good choices, everyone. Happy creating. Goodbye.